Today on Wild on a Trail, we are at Penmar Park in Maryland, just off the Appalachian Trail, and I'm continuing with another episode of my class of 2019 hiker interviews. And today I not only have one hiker with me, not two hikers, but I have three hikers. I would like to welcome the Wonder Women. They have just 0.2 miles until they make it to the Mason-Dixon line, and they will be stepping into Roxylvania. Yay. So they have almost one more state down, so we're going to turn the camera around and we're going to ask them a few questions.
All right.
Okay, girls, 0.2 to get to Roxylvania. You are almost to the Mason-Dixon line. The sign is just down over the hill. You've almost kicked Maryland in the pants and be stepping into Roxylvania. So what I'd like to do is, I'd like to ask you, what are your trail names and where are you from?
Well, we pretty much travel as a group all the time, so we're known as the Wonder Women, and most people don't call us by our individual trail names.
Okay.
And we have some, but that's pretty much the way it goes. But
Okay.
So my trail name was Poem at the first because I was reading poetry, and I'm trying to memorize poetry on the trail and do that. So that was mine. That was given me by some of our fellow hikers.
But we renamed her Pesky.
But now lately everybody comes up yelling up to me Pesky, so I'm
Pesky.
Pesky.
And
Awesome.
I'm Up and Atom.
Up and Adam, okay.
And it's because I'm up and Atom and ready to go. Very efficient, packing and ready to go.
And I'm lost and found because I lose things all the time. And I mean, it can be just one thing in my tent. I can't find it. I tear through I usually find everything, but
I understand your tent is quite the vortex.
It
Yes.
is.
Losing things.
Vortex.
Little tiny tent.
Little tiny
Right.
one-person tent, and it's a vortex.
But it's gotten better because now she doesn't go into absolute panic
That's
mode.
true.
She
Yeah.
believes now that it's there.
It will
somewhere.
come
It's
to
there
me
somewhere.
the next time I open my tent up, and it does. So
Sure.
it all
But
works.
we're all from Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a long time. We've done a lot of
A lot of
hiking in our working
A lot of
life.
backpacking.
a lot of backpacking, traveling. Yeah.
Your Tramily name, the Wonder Women, was formed before the Appalachian Trail. Could you share how the three of you met and built your Tramily bond?
Yeah, so, well, we did a lot of backpacking
Yeah.
for many years. Every vacation we had, we backpacked. But the Wonder Women name started when we did the Colorado Trail in 2015.
Okay.
So we retired, and because we're from Colorado, that was the very first thing we did. We hiked the Colorado Trail with another friend of ours named Carolyn. So there were four of us, and that's when the Wonder Women.
That's
That's
yeah.
the
we
group
decided
name
to call
Wonder
Right,
ourselves
and also
the
because
Wonder Women.
we
Yeah.
had decided we were going to travel full time in our RVs and do that, and it kind of fit for that too.
Because we're wandering
So
around the country.
we're kind of the Wonder Women. We're wandering around.
Yeah.
That's really.
Yep. So we kept it.
Yeah.
We
It was-
left the Colorado Trail, got in our RVs, and we're rolling around the country.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fits absolutely perfectly.
Seeing the great old USA.
Okay, so here I am a guy, but I have to ask the question. I know the name is taboo when asking a young lady what their ages are. And we all know that officially on record, the three of you are each 29 years of age. But would you mind sharing how old you are?
Well, Lynn is by far
I'm
the oldest, so she should go
And
first.
I'm 62 years old, but
Okay.
I'm only the oldest by 6 months.
Right. Now, 62 is kind of an interesting age because you actually, at 62, you can get your National Parks card, lifetime National Parks card. And that's a big deal for us because we go to national parks all the time. So Lynn turned 62 on December 24th.
Yeah.
And so she had been talking about it, well, for years, really.
Yes.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't wait till I turn 62.
Yeah.
But then, leading up to it, it's like, I don't even care that I'm having a birthday because I'm getting my parks card.
Yeah.
And then, Lynn, go ahead, tell what
Well,
happened.
then on the day of my birthday, the government shut down.
Oh,
I could not get my parks card.
Happy
I was
birthday.
For months.
despondent for months.
For
I
months.
could
Wow.
not get
But
my park card.
she couldn't-
I
she
called the
couldn't
different
deal
parks.
with it.
Nobody was open.
She couldn't actually grasp the fact that she wasn't going to be able to get it. She's like, well, maybe I can get it online. We're like,
No?
nope. What if I went to? And we're like, nope.
I could not get my card.
that's great.
So they're 62, and I am 55.
Okay.
And we feel really okay with our ages,
Yeah, we-
because part of us being out here is we want people of our age to get out.
Yeah.
And so we really talk about gracefully aging and
Sure.
that you're never too old, and we feel like we want to make sure we do gracefully age, that we do everything we could do, and we're proud of it.
Yeah.
We're not trying to look younger, we're not trying to act younger, we're just proud of being, actually, we're really grateful we have our life.
Yeah.
And every day is a gift, and we're glad that we're alive, we have health, we know we
Yeah.
could lose it at any minute, so we're really just celebrating that we've made it this far.
Yeah, and we want
Absolutely.
people our age to think they can get out too,
Yes.
if they
Yeah,
can.
Most people,
Yes.
That's
you
what
can-
we want.
You could probably do more than
That's our
you think you
message.
can do. That's
Yes,
what we.
yes.
And then we were at the Lick Skillet hostel with this woman who said she'd rather wear out than rust out. I thought, well, that's good, you know.
That's a great way to look at it.
And when we were just back there at Harper's Ferry, a couple came up to us, and the woman watches our videos, and she said, "You make people want to get out,
Right.
get outside." And so they're going to do their first overnight hiking
right.
trip, her
That's
and her
wonderful.
husband, and that we feel good about. We want people to embrace their age, and
That's wonderful. Well, the three of you are certainly making it look easy, and you're having an absolute blast. That's the single biggest thing that I've seen from your videos. You certainly make it look easy, and it gives me inspiration as well, because I've recently turned 52,
Yeah.
and I've scratched my head, and then I think about Grandma Gatewood and everyone else who's gone before us, and I just need to get out and make it happen.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's definitely doable.
Would you mind sharing what has inspired each of you to hike the Appalachian Trail?
For me, and maybe the other two, I think for all of us, we really had not seen this part of the country. We've been traveling for about 4 years. We've been all over the western United States, through Texas, down to southern Florida, and we really hadn't seen this part of the country. We like to hike, backpack, and we thought, what a great way to see the eastern United States
Sure.
for the first time.
Awesome.
And I wanted to do it. I went to college in Florida, and I wanted to do the trail for a long time, but I invested in an education, I had bills, I had a job, you know, you work, and I thought, well, I just couldn't do it at that time, you know what I mean? I had to kind of get on my feet and pay my bills and do all that, so who knew? I just kind of put it on the back burner, and then when we did the Colorado Trail, and then we were in Texas, we had lost our dog, who was our adventure dog, who we loved, and we did the Lone Star Trail in Texas, which is just a 100-mile trail. And during that, we
Yeah.
said, hey, what if we do the Appalachian Trail? That was like a year before we started.
Yeah.
And I always come up with the idea, and these guys always say, yeah. I'm waiting for them to say,
That's
you know
true.
what? And they don't.
I know.
They say, yeah, let's do that.
I
So
committed. I wasn't as gung ho. I committed to a month.
Yeah,
I said, I'll
that's
try
true.
A month. I don't know if I want to do that long of a trail, you know, because it's long. It's a big chunk.
It's hard to grasp doing it in your brain.
It is. You, no matter what you think, like if okay, I'll watch a few videos and I'll read some stuff, but then it's like you still have no clue what it's like.
And to be out
No.
for that long.
And to be out there day after day after day.
And can my body hold up?
Yeah.
You know, because we've
Yeah.
all have aches and pains, and your knees hurt, and your feet hurt, and can my body? So then we did say, well, let's just commit to a month, and at the end of that month, see how we feel, and if we want to keep going. And of course, we were
We
in
never
love
even-
with it at that point.
At the end of the month, I don't think we even
Talked
talked
about
about it. We just kept
Sure.
going.
Yeah.
We
Just kept going, and 3
Yeah.
months later, here you are,
Yes, here we
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
and you're just shy of the official halfway
I
point. Just a
know.
few more miles to go.
Yeah.
And you made it through Harper's Ferry, and just still biggest smile on your face, and
Yes.
just
Oh my
still
gosh.
heading north.
So excited.
It is fun. It is challenging, but there's something fun about it. It's fun meeting people, meeting the people, and seeing all the different. There's a huge spectrum of people who are doing the trail. I mean, literally everybody from, kids who just are in high school or got out of high school to, older retired people, rocket scientists. There's like everybody's in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So your start date, February 21st, 2019. I'd like to talk a little bit about your early start date and the weather that you experienced. A lot of folks wait until later, and there's a lot of risk in starting so very early on the trail. So let's talk about embracing the suck. Do you regret your early start date? And what has been the toughest part of the trail up until this point, whether that be weather, terrain, or even the mental aspect of the trail?
Every day on the trail is hard. So that part about which are the hardest parts, and certainly there are parts that are steeper, longer, whatever. But every single day is hard. And as long as you know that, as long as you just kind of resign yourself to the fact that you're carrying a pack and you're doing mixed terrain and it's going to be hard, then, you know, the gradients of that don't seem to matter as much.
But I like the start date that we chose.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change that.
I wouldn't change that. And one reason, we were gonna do March 1st, and I got injured in doing the Superior Trail in September. And so we decided to push it back and go slower, really slow, to see if we could even get,
Right, to do the build
see if
up.
I was okay, really.
We could build it up.
And that's why we moved it, but I'm glad we did, because we enjoyed, I'd rather hike in cold weather than hot. I loved really going through 2 months of the trail without any leaves on the trees, because you could see the ridge lines on the side.
Right.
You could really see out, and it was beautiful. And you had the fall leaves still on the ground. It was
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Yeah.
And really, the shelters were completely crowded during that time period.
They were crowded.
Totally crowded.
It was,
Okay.
that was some of the most.
It was a lot of,
Yeah.
there were a lot of people on the trail. I didn't know, I thought it might just be us, a few more people, but
Yeah.
it was
There were
every
a
day,
lot of people.
you were kind of battling for a shelter every day. Because it was cold and people wanted
Yeah.
the shelter, or it was rainy. So people were trying to get to those shelters. There was one shelter, Hawk Mountain Shelter, whatever, had probably 30, 40 people there.
That was close to a road.
So some walked in for the weekend,
Yeah.
but still, it was February 23rd. It was like the second shelter or whatever we were
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
And completely full of people. But I loved the start date. I would
Yeah.
start early like that again, for
Yeah.
sure.
Did you run into any challenges in the Smoky Mountains with snow? Or?
We didn't have snow,
We
but we
really
had
didn't have
ice.
snow.
We did have
Yeah.
ice, but there was enough rocks on the trail that you could step on the rocks to avoid the ice,
Okay.
you know?
Great.
We are from Colorado and we do hike all the time in the cold. So we weren't afraid of hiking in the cold. Now, we don't backpack in the cold because,
Yeah.
you know, winter camping is hard because it's dark and you know, you're freezing. You basically have to either be in your bag or hiking.
Yeah.
And that's true on the trail too. It limits.
That was the hardest part of
That
that.
is the
I
hardest
think
part.
you had to be, and then getting up in the morning because it's so cold, getting yourself ready.
Your
But once
hands and
you're-
feet.
Yeah, once you're
in the morning.
hiking, you warm up, and
Yeah.
it's a nice,
It's
Yeah.
nice.
nice
The hiking
temp to
part is-
hike.
I would bring little hand warmers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have those at first, and then I
Yeah.
did get those for the last few nights of the cold. Because just for in the morning or at night,
Yeah.
usually in the morning, I put some toe warmers and some hand warmers just while I'm trying to get stuff packed up. Because it was really cold.
Yeah, there were some mornings, you're just not used to being out camping in that. Like in the teens, you don't camp in that, generally speaking. I mean, some people I know do, but we don't.
No, the Smokies they had the covers on the shelters.
Yeah,
like
that
ours.
really helped,
It
the
did help
plastic
keep
tarps.
some-
Sure.
yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, it was a great trade-off.
So now we're adjusting to the hot and the humid.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
Oh,
a
boy.
whole other thing.
That's a
Yeah.
whole nother thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about luxury items. And this is a question that my fiance really wanted to ask. What type of luxury items have you ladies brought along? Or do you carry a bottle of wine with you, some fingernail polish, maybe a personal masseuse?
Yeah.
Uh,
Be
Curious to hear what your luxury items are.
The luxury item that
Yeah.
I use the most is my Kindle. And I don't even
Yeah.
know if I consider it a luxury item, because you need something that you're interested in.
Didn't I?
And we all three have a Kindle.
We all three
So
Kindles.
my
Kindles.
Kindle,
Yeah.
And then
I have a little massage football, like a
Okay.
little
Yeah.
thing because we do feet exercises, and that's part of them.
And
That's
then
a luxury
I
item.
brought my little learn Spanish book, because we don't have cell service, hardly any. That first half, we had, how much percent of the time
Yeah.
did we have something? Not great at all.
Not great, no.
So you have to have something you can do, not on your phone or whatever.
Okay.
That
But that's
might
about
be
it.
it, yeah.
We didn't bring,
We don't have chairs or,
a chair would be nice though, if there was a super
No.
high chair.
Umbrellas?
Bring
Anybody
an
pack an
Umbrella,
umbrella?
umbrella.
We use ponchos.
We
yeah.
use our ponchos. We really are not,
You brought that little knot card where you could tie your knots.
oh yeah, I like to do that for fun. Relaxing.
She
If
does-
you
has these
decide
little
to
ropes
do
and-
knots, make sure you get two different color cords. because it makes a lot more fun, a lot
What's
easier.
funny is somebody we met down there at the campground, Dahlgren Campground, watch our videos.
Oh, yeah,
And they
she
said,
got a knot
she
card.
said, I got a knot card after I saw your video.
Yeah,
That's
she
great.
likes it. She's having fun doing it.
That's great, but
Yeah,
awesome.
and
It
that's
is
okay.
really relaxing. It's a relaxing thing.
I can't remember.
Some of
what
them
else
knots come in very handy too.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
snap up a shoulder or,
Oh my gosh,
or
yes, we've had to use them.
cinch some things to your packs.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
But basic stuff, we're not,
Yeah, we don't have.
you know, this is only a short time of your life. You can be fancy all other times of your life. You can, I never look at it as that we're being denied anything.
Okay.
You know, I always see it as, this is something we're doing. It's like a cool thing. It's, you know, later on, or even on your times when you go into town, if you want to have a bottle of wine, have a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about food for a second. Are there any hiker foods that you have come to hate? Any foods out there that you would never dream of packing out on the trail again?
Couscous.
Yes, couscous.
Okay.
Couscous and even the backpacker meals,
Yeah, the dehydrated meals.
dehydrated meals.
Because we just did it too much. They were
Right.
good at the time.
Yeah,
Sure.
they're good.
And that happened before the trail.
Yeah.
We haven't had a
They're kind of-
backpacker meal in a long time because we just got sick of it. And the couscous was a superior drill
Yeah,
where we just couldn't eat it.
one night we could not eat it ever
I-
again.
I-
All three of us were like done.
Yeah, I hate Pop-Tarts. And
Okay.
Yeah.
when you're at those little gas station places trying to do your resupply and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, it's a choice between, you know, Rice Krispie treats for breakfast or Pop-Tarts. And you're just like, ah. That's the hardest part. The
Yeah.
food is really one of the hardest parts.
Yeah.
on your-
It is. And we're eating a lot of sugar that we normally don't eat. A lot of foods with
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah, that we don't eat.
So fresh fruits when we go to town, yogurt, we like to get
Yeah.
salads,
Mhm.
try to, but you're so hungry sometimes, then you get there and you're like, I can't just eat a salad, I'm too hungry.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So you just kind of build it in. It's like this, you're in this.
And we switch it out.
Yeah, and we do as much switching around as we can, but
Yeah.
it's not your whole life. You're just doing this. So if you eat bizarre things, and I've had a hard time like saying, oh, so I'm going to be eating like I don't know how many grams of sugar a day it would end up being, but
No,
I'm like,
way too
God.
much, I know.
But you know, then you're like, oh, I'm only
You
doing
eat for fuel.
yeah.
Sure.
And so
Absolutely.
Basically what you're doing.
We do a lot of the tuna and the salmon. We do tortillas. We do peanut butter. We do
Nuts and dried fruit.
Oh, a ton of
Nuts
nuts.
and
That's my main food group is nuts and dried fruit, different kinds of dried fruit. Yeah,
Peanut M&Ms.
Yeah.
yeah. Those could almost be thrown in the nut category now, but
Right.
Yeah, they're in my healthy
But
nut
I
category.
don't get tired of nut. I don't get tired
Almond
of
and
eating
peanuts.
nuts. Now maybe
Yeah.
other people do, but I seem to always be able to say, okay, I'm going to mix up some, you know, pecans and cashews and maybe a can of mixed nut. You know, mix it all together, and I can eat that. I can make myself eat that. Whereas
Right.
some of the other stuff, I look at it and I think, oh my God,
Mhm.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Right. What has been your most memorable memory or experience on the trail to date? When you look back, it could be trail magic, it could be someone you may have met on the trail, an overlook, a state, an experience.
Gosh, there's so many.
Yeah, that's really hard. to
So
do.
many.
And I'm so happy to hear you say that because everybody answers almost the same way.
Yeah,
There's
it is
so
hard.
many.
Yes,
And-
there's so many wonderful things, all of those
Yes,
things.
it's, you know, you can't really put those in like an order, prioritized order like that. I liked all of Virginia.
Okay.
I loved. There's something about Virginia. I liked it all. Have liked all the states.
Yeah,
but,
me too.
But everybody talked about, oh, you know, you're in Virginia. You're going to get the Virginia blues. You're da da da. And I ended up just
Yeah.
thinking Virginia is a great state to hike in. I just really loved it.
Yeah, because we really are trying to enjoy the journey. We're not just trying to get miles and getting to a destination. We really are trying to see all the little towns, enjoy all the little spots that come upon. Yeah, we're so excited about, I mean, you enter Virginia, you're in Damascus, then you have Grayson State Park with the ponies, and then you, Grayson Highlands, and then you have the Triple Crown coming up, and you have
Yeah.
Shenandoah National, I mean, it's all these little
Yeah.
things to look forward to. But all the other states, you're in the Great Smoky Mountains. I mean, you're just, you know, once we were coming in, Georgia I thought was awesome with the trail, very well maintained. People put, I think the amazing thing to me is people have so much pride in this trail, in this area. They love this trail. The community is amazing. The trail work is amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, these people love this trail.
When And the people that reach out to you to say, hey, I see you're doing the trail, I just want to, give you a boost, help you out along the way.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's a really impressive.
So we have met amazing people,
Really
like
good people.
hiking,
We have.
but then we've met amazing people that are helping us out
Yeah,
along the way.
Trail angel people or
Mhm.
trail magic people or whatever they call themselves are amazing.
So they,
Yeah,
they
it really
bring,
helps us
like
a
the
lot.
trail brings you together, but then your connection with them is amazing because they have a story. You know what I mean? You love to hear their story and what's going on
Yeah.
with them. I mean, it's like amazing. In fact, people will be connected to. We plan on coming back through here in our RV, and we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna stop and see these people.
Yeah,
You know?
Great.
well,
Yeah.
Great.
So the
That's awesome.
people that help us out, we've had, experienced hostels. I've never stayed in a hostel in my life before this.
Yeah.
So we've experienced
Yeah.
amazing. The whole trail is amazing. I don't have a,
Experiences in town, I mean, just all of it, yeah.
I mean, so we had a guy from New York
yeah.
drive down.
Amazing. That's
He's
super nice.
heading down to Trail Days, picks us up, we go to Trail Days, drops us back off, goes back to New York. You know what I
Just a
mean?
really nice guy, just like
Was that Stan the Man?
Stan the man.
fun
Stan
to
the man.
talk to.
I love him.
Got a really good head on his shoulders. Interesting guy.
You might
just-
meet him because he's doing the trail next year.
Okay.
No, he's not. 3 years.
3
He's
years.
got to retire.
He's
He has to
Yeah,
retire,
that's
but
right.
he's gonna do it.
You'll
yeah.
meet Greenfeet.
Green feet. Oh yeah,
And
another
they
Scott,
just
nice
helped us
guy,
out big
Scott.
time, yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
really nice.
Awesome.
There's all kinds of great people out.
So you just mentioned Trail Days or Damascus, Virginia. Let's talk about Trail Days for just a moment. Do you have any survival tips as far as reservations or the parade, the drum circle, or even perhaps even bail money, Annette?
Yeah. Okay. Go lay the bail money.
Pesky.
That was-
That was our
a-
only mistake
That's our
of
worst.
the trail.
That's our worst experience of the trail. We can't
Yeah.
get rid of pesky.
I
Yeah,
know.
that darn pesky. Oh, that yeah, the pesky.
Yeah, if we wouldn't have-
I've never actually met her. I mean, we're so far,
Uh-uh.
but
That's true.
she's always looking for me. I guess, but I've never met her.
Yeah.
But Trail Days. I wish we had known a little bit more. I think I should have asked a few more questions about it. But we were busy. We had people we were meeting up with and doing different stuff. So we were really busy. But there's a lot to do there.
Mhm, It's fun.
Yeah,
And we
it was
learned
really fun.
afterwards some of the things that were going on
That
that
we
we
didn't
didn't
see.
know.
Yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know that you, like about Tent City, that you can buy, when you buy a ticket, that's not just if you're staying over there, that then you can go in and wander around and see what's going on over
They
there.
had
And they
stuff
had lots
over
of
there.
food and
Yeah,
things
because they're
over there
selling,
that
like, they
we
have like
totally
an
missed
entry
out.
thing. We didn't, so we
Okay.
didn't do that, but I would have loved to have done that. We could hear the drums, but we didn't drum.
But it was a good time, and they had a
It
lot
was
of good
fun.
vendors,
Mhm.
and
The parade was fun.
we lucked out and got a place at a hostel when we were at the Woodchuck when we first came through in March. We asked her if she had any openings. She said, I just had a cancellation, like
Oh,
that
wow.
day, and we got in.
Yeah.
Right time, right
So-
place.
So
Yeah.
we were lucky.
Yeah.
So
I know
I
it.
would say now, the way you know how everything works, reserve it way ahead and then
Mhm.
find out what their cancellation policy is and then cancel
Mhm.
if you find out you're not gonna go back to it, you
Right.
know, because they'll be able to,
And the tent cities
Yeah.
was probably fun too. That's what we were planning on doing.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's not, we presented it as pesky was wild and caught up in, but it wasn't wild. I mean, they probably have a
Wasn't
wild,
that
but it
wild.
wasn't wild.
Yeah.
Everybody was great. Everybody was,
No,
a lot
everybody
of
was.
food, churches had free food.
Yeah.
The parade was awesome, and they're escorting you with water guns. I mean, the whole thing
Yeah.
was great. It was just
didn't
fun.
seem to be just a wild
No.
and
no, there's,
drunken
no,
time.
it
I
was
think
nice. There was great
it
music.
wasn't bad at all. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, good music.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the band. And
Yeah.
So-
a lot of free giveaways.
Great. For those listening, Pesky is a character that you created that is actually Annette. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So make sure, for those of you listening, you go visit their channel and get back to the Trail Days video, and you'll get to see that.
Yeah, so Pesky, one of our subscribers asked us to do a scene from
Kind of like from.
yeah, kind of like a scene, because we were doing these other skits and a couple of videos, and they said, do a scene from the Walk in the Woods.
Okay.
And we couldn't remember a whole lot of it,
No.
but we remember the pesky hiker from the Walk in the Woods.
Right,
Marianne
okay.
or-
So
Yeah.
we did a little
Made
skit
up our own
on
thing. Yeah.
on pesky hiker, and then everybody liked it. Everybody's like, oh my god, we love pesky. So now we
Yeah,
put
it was
pesky
great.
into all of our videos
It was
now.
great. You guys are just having so much of a blast. Your
It's fun.
videos are so entertaining.
It's fun when we're walking along the trail because you have huge stretches where you're just walking on the trail. That's what you're
For
doing.
10 hours a day.
And so we'll say, oh, hey, we could,
Let's do this.
we could do this, we could,
Yeah.
and then we'll start laughing super hard, even if we never do that. It's worth
Right.
the laugh that you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
from just talking about it. So it's almost like having a little escape thing out there.
I had put a picture of going up a rock or something, and Annette's pack was behind, it was her back. And somebody put a comment, is that a backpack or a garage sale? So then we did a skit about the garage sale. And so we'll take comments or things and then make a skit
Kind of build
out
from that and be creative and just have fun, help
Yeah.
pass the time.
Just
That's great.
laugh.
The three of you seem to be having an absolute blast on the trail so far. What are your concerns with what lies ahead on the trail?
We just want to keep healthy.
Yep.
No injuries.
If we could just stay healthy.
Yeah.
No issues, yeah.
And we always hear about how awful each part is. You're going to get bored in Virginia. It didn't happen. Virginia's flat. It's not true.
No.
Virginia's not flat.
Neither's
Um,
Maryland.
No.
The rocks in Pennsylvania, we're nervous about that because we don't want to hurt ourselves.
Right.
The whites. Oh my God, the whites, people. Well, here.
Yeah.
We'll be following your backpack, we'll weigh you down here, flip off the mountain, we're like, no, we're
Yeah.
Right.
So, but we try not, we're just going to make our own opinion about each
Yeah.
thing we do. But I'm a little bit worried about the rocks coming up because it just hurts your knees and your feet. So we're going to go really slow
Yep.
and pick our way through.
That's great.
If we can stay healthy, if we can keep ourselves from being injured,
We'll be good.
we can do it because our
Yeah.
headspace is good. We
Yeah.
know that
Yeah.
Emotionally,
Wonderful.
mentally, we're good.
we're good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So it's just keeping from, really injuring an ankle or
Where you
knee
can't
or
go
whatever.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well-
we've seen people have some pretty gnarly little accidents, so you have to be mindful.
Well, now that you've come this far on the trail, the odds are actually starting to favor
Yeah.
your completion versus
Well, that's good.
Yep.
such as a traditional 20% by Neil Gap, 50% by Hot Springs.
Yeah.
And now you're pretty much halfway.
Yeah.
So we can't call it the home stretch yet,
No.
but it seems to be that, physical injury could be one of
Yes.
those things looming.
That's
And-
and not to overdo ourselves.
And those go together.
They go together.
Yeah, I think.
And that's not a bad thing to be mindful about. It's not a bad thing to be thinking, man, I gotta really be thinking about where I plant my feet and, not overdoing it. So it's good to be mindful of that. And we only, Lynn and I were just having this conversation today. I said, all we have to worry about is the day that we're in.
Yeah.
I know.
We don't even
Yeah.
have to start pushing ourselves out there and thinking, oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
So let's just do
I mean,
this thing.
sometimes
Get
you want
today
to.
through,
You're
yeah.
like, oh God, we're only 5 more miles from the line, the Mason-Dixon line. You want to push, but you just go, no, we're not pushing.
No.
We're going to wait, and we're going to be patient.
It's great to have that discipline.
Yep.
It's great to have that discipline.
Yep.
Well, it's 0.2 away, so you'll get to
Yeah.
enjoy that.
I think we're gonna make that. Yeah.
Today we'll make
I
it.
think
We'll
you
make
are.
it.
Well, it's pretty much downhill.
Oh, and
Okay,
downhill.
good.
Oh, we
From
got
here,
it.
so.
All right.
We got it.
As women hiking on the trail, let's talk about trail safety for a little while. I'm certain safety was on your minds before you even stepped on the trail. May 11, 2019, a day none of us in the hiker community will ever forget. Ronald Sanchez Jr., Stronghold, lost his life at the hands of a mentally disturbed individual, and a female hiker was viciously attacked. I know that trail safety has probably been on your mind since day one, and a lot has happened. And I wanted to take a moment to mention Stronghold's name, so for those viewing who may have never heard his name, they can learn about him and what his journey was, and we can remember and honor him. So what I would like to ask you as ladies on the trail, as a part of your daily routine, or perhaps when you're on the trail or you may go into towns or areas like that, can you give us any suggestions to future female hikers, any safety suggestions?
Hiking together, we feel a
Yeah.
little bit safer with us
I
three.
think it's easier for us
Yeah.
because we're together.
So I have not felt unsafe at all.
No.
Even starting, I wasn't worried about it. I had people say, "Oh my gosh, be careful out there,"
Yeah.
But I personally didn't feel unsafe starting this trail. Did you guys?
No,
I didn't at all.
And I still don't. I really don't.
I don't too.
We started off on that trail, and We have met amazing people all the way through, and people that are totally opposite, that totally have your back 100%. That you feel like if something happens to me, I have people all around that will help you out, and you really feel like that.
Yeah.
People picking us up in town. Now, if I was solo, I would think I might be a little bit more cautious at hitching a ride as a solo woman. I would be more cautious in those things.
Okay.
I would think, oh man, I don't want to get in I might go with a group. You know, so if you have your little group, go, you know, have a buddy system. I would think more about that. But with us three,
Yeah.
I don't.
And we
Think about
do
it.
see a lot of people out there where there might be one woman, but she's with 2 or 3 guys, so, you know, she feels safer.
Or 2 or
And
3.
A lot of people do kind of pair up with 2 or 3 women, or, you know, a lot of people pair up
Yeah.
out there and stuff,
great.
but I don't even feel, I haven't really heard from any other just women talking about feeling unsafe out there.
Now, when I heard about this
Now
guy the
this-
first time, the guy, I felt unsafe on the trail, and he was 200 miles behind us at the time. But I felt that there was in April.
Yeah.
When we first heard, there was the Facebook post. I thought the trail did a good job kind of putting that out there, like, hey, look out for this guy.
Right.
This is his dog.
We
And
do.
when I first read that, I worked in the mental health field, and I thought, well, that guy's dangerous.
Right.
Especially threatening to kill his own dog. I mean, there's some other red
Right.
flags that you thought, that guy's really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt unsafe then. Like, man, I really looked at the dog. I'm like, I want to be able to identify this
Yeah.
guy if I run into him. But then they got him, and I thought, oh, great, right? Then I was back to being. The trail is not unsafe. There was an unsafe individual out at the time,
Exactly.
and then they caught him, and then they let him go. Again, I went, oh my gosh, you felt like there's this danger is on the trail somewhere, lurking on that trail somewhere.
Right.
And then you hear about that, and you know, I just felt like maybe we need to look at our systems on keeping people like that. I don't know I don't know all the facts of it, but you know, you start questioning. It's not that I don't feel like it has anything to do with the Appalachian Trail, but there was some systems that maybe failed somewhere or something. I mean, us being way up the trail hiking and knowing that there's a danger behind. I mean, you know there's something irrational about that guy.
Right.
That there was something. You just never know, are they going to go to the point of, but even somebody being threatened is abuse. If you're threatened
Right.
with a knife or a machete, or I'm going to burn you or
just
whatever, that's
verbally abuse.
Take it seriously.
nobody should ever have to deal with that. And we're
We feel-
devastated.
we feel
And you
s-
know, and this is my thing. I just am completely devastated by that stronghold story and what he was dealing with and trying to heal
Right.
from.
Right,
Yeah.
because he
Bring
was
it-
trying to bring himself back.
And he,
Yeah.
this is what makes me sick about it, is he would have healed himself and he would have given back to others. You know that. He was on this path. And he would have taken this experience, it became better, given back to somebody else, and there would have been this, and he was taken out. I mean,
That got
it's like a
taken
bright
out.
light taken out.
That got taken away from him, his life, but then from the
The ripple
community
effect,
as a whole,
yes.
that
Yeah.
gets taken
So we're carrying him with us. We're carrying him all the way up there. Right in my heart, I'm carrying that guy. I have him on my phone, I have his picture, you know.
out. Yeah.
Just breaks my heart. And it's Memorial Day weekend, and you think about him on Memorial Day
Yeah.
weekend, you know, as a veteran, and
It's heartbreaking.
Oh, man, it's bad.
Any advice you'd like to offer other aspiring female thru hikers who are considering hiking the Appalachian Trail or any long trail for that matter?
to make sure they find equipment that fits them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there are more companies that are making equipment that fits them,
Mhm.
and it makes a difference. Like a pack.
Yeah, women's
Good
specific
fitting.
stuff.
Back, and
Yeah.
it's
And,
important.
Uh,
Yeah.
I would say to figure out what shoes and socks you're going to wear and hike the heck out of them way
Yeah.
ahead of time and
Yeah.
get that piece nailed down.
Right.
Of all the different things when
Yeah.
you're in between, when you're in town, people are trying to, oh, you know, I gotta change my shoes, I gotta do this. But if
Yeah.
you get that piece nailed down way ahead of time and find something that works for you, you got that.
Yeah.
And
Great.
that's a big piece.
Yeah, just do it.
Yep, do it.
Get out and
It's
do
worth
it.
it.
Start conditioning your feet and ankles today.
Yes.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
go online,
Go slow,
download
but do it.
a strengthen feet and ankles video.
Yeah.
Maybe your general leg strength, but start way before you get out there on the trail. Like, we were in good shape, but we weren't in like ultimate fabulous shape. But certainly work on those feet and ankles because you're gonna need it.
And we've learned that from injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's made it so much better for us.
And I would say to the 50-plus crowd too, just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
You're not too old. There was somebody that wrote, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I found your videos because I didn't know if I could do it when I retired. I wanted to do it and I got into this career and you could do it. A lot of people do it. I mean, I can't tell you, you see the two extremes. There's a big population of retired people and then the really, really young, right out of college is kind of what you see.
Yeah.
And the population of retired people are amazing.
Big group of us out there.
Or
Yeah.
at least try and do
Great.
it, like do a section. Try, like hike to Shenandoah. It's
Yes.
fabulous. Like say, you know what? I don't know if I want to do the whole thing, so I'm going to go hike all of the Shenandoah
Yeah.
and see if I like it.
Great.
And do something like that.
Okay.
And just
Yeah.
try it.
Yeah, section hike,
Get your feet wet.
just get outside.
Yeah.
Awesome. Find your wild.
Find your
Right.
wild.
There you go.
Wild.
I noticed that.
That's right.
So I asked earlier how the Wonder Woman Tramily was formed. Now that you've hiked or survived 1,066.2 miles on the Appalachian Trail together,
Yeah.
Oh.
what would you say is the glue that bonds the three of you together as one force to be reckoned with?
Well, I would say that we respect each other. I mean, friendship is a lot about respecting the other person. I'd say we have a lot of respect for each other, to give each other space to be ourselves in that.
Yes, and we don't have, we really are just trying to enjoy our lives and the time we have. And we don't have any dynamics between us,
It's not
like,
competitive.
like,
No.
I'm in charge and you're not, I'm gonna tell you what to, except Pesky.
Yeah.
We don't have anybody bossing us around, but we don't have like a leader, we're all leaders.
No.
We just kind of,
And we all think that we're competent at what we do, so we don't have to be helping, or telling other people. I
and
don't
we've
know,
hiked
something
together for so long that we
yeah.
do the same pace,
We're like one
basically.
little unit. Yeah.
Yes, like
We're
one
like
unit.
a little unit.
But if somebody wants to go slower, I mean, we would do that. But it just is like effortless. We're just kind of walking together in a group, and
It's really not hard. So, I mean, it's not like we work it, like, okay, we're gonna have a group meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not,
We have
it's just kind of seamless. We don't
Yeah.
actually ever work it.
yeah,
But I think everything that you just said, that defines to the core what a Tramily is and what it should be. And I know as an aspiring hiker myself, that's what I would aspire to achieve with others that I would meet on the trail as well. Would you mind sharing your social media information, YouTube, Instagram, where we can find you online so our viewers can go out and take a look at some of these awesome videos that you girls are putting out?
Well, our YouTube channel is the Wander Women, or Wander Women. It's just
It's just
Wander
Wander
Women.
with an A, Wander Women.
And you have to start writing my name with a K, Kristy, Annette, and Lynn, and then it'll pop up because there's a lot of Wander Women, I guess, out
Yeah,
there.
there are.
Wander Women,
YouTube,
Kristy
yeah.
with a K, Annette, and Lynn, and that's the same on Instagram. Yeah, find us and support us and.
Yeah.
Great,
We're,
awesome.
we're not serious. We're not like telling you what to buy.
We're not
and stuff.
experts.
No.
I mean, we know a lot of stuff, but we're not necessarily telling you, except for Pesky would.
Well, yeah.
But you're almost halfway, pretty much halfway, and you're still, all three of you have remained friends, Tramily,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
obviously doing something right.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously doing
Yep,
something right.
going all the way to the
All
end.
right.
Yep.
I do want to take a moment to thank the Wonder Women, Kristy, Annette, and Lynn, for taking some time off the trail to answer my questions. And I hope to do some more hiker interviews in the future. So if you have a question that you would like to ask, perhaps any future thru hikers that are coming through, post that in the comments below. If you haven't done so already, we ask that you do click on the subscribe button for Wild on the Trail, and also be sure to visit the Wonder Women. Visit their channel, and all the fun and festivities are having an absolute blast. We do want to wish them luck. They got 0.2 to the Mason-Dixon sign, and they're almost halfway to reach Katahdin. So best of luck to you ladies. Good luck to you.
All right.